6:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Lakshman Fonseca and read by Mario Vijayawardena. The headlines. The government is to introduce a token system for customers waiting in fuel station queues. The Parliament Select Committee on Electoral Reforms proposed a mixed system for parliamentary elections. The Private Bus Owners Association requests the annual bus fare revision by tomorrow. A price of a lunch packet and all other food items to be increased by 10 rupees. The Expressway Revenue has halved when compared to the traffic on the expressway before the fuel crisis. The World Health Organization says monkeypox outbreak is not an international public health emergency. The government has taken measures to introduce a token system for customers waiting in queues to obtain petrol and diesel. Power and Energy Minister Kanchana Wijesekara said the program will come into effect from tomorrow. He added that the assistance of the police and the army will be obtained to ensure the process is carried out smoothly. Accordingly, motorists will be informed via phone when their turn is ready. However, the minister said that the exact date of the arrival of the next fuel shipment cannot be revealed at the moment and added 4 separate groups from the ministry are working on fuel imports. The minister also said that 2 ministers are scheduled to travel to Russia tomorrow to discuss fuel imports from Russia and other related matters. It was also revealed that the Petroleum Corporation has only 9,000 MTs of diesel and around 5,500 MTs of petrol, including octane 95. The Parliament Select Committee on Electoral Reforms has proposed a mixed system for parliamentary elections. However, the committee has authorised to retain the current number of 225 MPs and the national list. The Select Committee Chairman Dinesh Gunawardena said necessary legislation with the relevant constitutional amendments should be brought in to implement this proposal. However, some committee members were of the view that any change in the parliamentary election system would severely affect the representation of the minorities. It is also reported that all committee members have agreed to reduce the number of elected members in local councils. Regarding women's representation, the committee recommends continuing the mandatory provision for a minimum 25% quota for local councils in terms of the existing Act. The committee has also recommended that legislation make it compulsory for every third candidate nominated by a party from the national list in the parliamentary election be a woman candidate. The Lanka Private Bus Owners Association today requested to consider the annual bus fare revision by tomorrow. The association said it should be amended in line with the recent fuel hike. They said if no favourable response is received, bus services will grind to a halt from Tuesday. The chairman of the association, Gamunu Vijayaratna, also reminded that the annual bus fare revision comes into force from the 1st of July. He also said that they had to face fuel price increases twice within a short period of time, and they had decided to terminate operating bus services from Tuesday, the 28th. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The price of a lunch packet and all other food items will be increased by 10 rupees. The All Ceylon Restaurant Owners Association said the prices will be increased due to the hike in fuel prices announced. Meanwhile, as the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation and the Lanka IOC announced that they have increased fuel prices, the All Island Three-Wheeler Drivers Union said that the three-wheeler fare for the second kilometre has been increased to 90 rupees from today. The president of the union, Lalit Dharmasekara, said that the decision was made after the government's insistence on increasing fuel prices. The fare for the second kilometre was at 80 rupees, but there will be no fare revision in the first kilometre, which stands at 100 rupees. He added, only the fares for the second kilometre onwards have gone up. Highway Operations Maintenance and Management Director Nihal Ludovik says the expressway revenue has almost halved when compared to the traffic on the expressway before the fuel crisis. He added that according to the statistics that the frequency of traffic on the Southern Expressway, the Outer Circular Highway, the Colombo-Kattunayake Road and the Central Expressway was 102,000 a day before the fuel crisis, but now the frequency stands between 55,000 and 60,000. He also added that the average daily revenue from the expressway before the fuel crisis was around 28 million rupees. Digital ID cards will be issued to all Sri Lankan citizens under 15 years in the near future. The Commissioner General of Department of Registrations of Persons, Viyani Gunathilaka, said around 1.7 million children would qualify for this digital ID card, which would contain fingerprints and the type of blood of the ID holder, in addition to the normal biodata. He said that the new program to issue digital ID cards will be implemented under an Indian aid scheme, and issuing these ID cards countrywide would be finalized within 1.5 years.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhaloka Vedamahatma.
The government has taken measures to introduce a token system for customers waiting in queues to obtain petrol and diesel. Power and Energy Minister Kanchana Wijesekara said the program will come into effect from tomorrow. He added that the assistance of the police and the army will be obtained to ensure the process is carried out smoothly. Accordingly, motorists will be informed via phone when their turn is ready.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhaloka Vedamahatma.
And now in Watchlight, the Agriculture Ministry has decided to cancel the leave of all staff in institutions under its purview to ensure that fertilizer will be distributed among the farming community without any delay. The ministry said the government would provide 65,000 MTs of urea to Sri Lanka, and the ship is scheduled to arrive in the country by the 6th of July. Accordingly, the leave of staff in the Ministry of Agriculture, the Department of Agrarian Services, the Ceylon Fertilizer Company, the Commercial Fertilizer Company will be cancelled. That came to you in Watchlight, and now in world news headlines. Ukraine vows to retake cities lost to Russia after withdrawal from Severodonetsk. 15 children have drowned in flash floods that swept through Bangladesh. The World Health Organization says monkeypox outbreak not an international public health emergency. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has vowed to win back all the cities that Russian forces have taken after the key eastern city of Severodonetsk was occupied. Russian forces had been advancing on Severodonetsk and the city across the river Lysychansk in a bid to take full control of the easternmost region of Luhansk. The mayor of Severodonetsk admitted on Saturday that the city is now fully occupied by Russian forces. Ukraine's military intelligence chief told the Reuters news agency that Ukrainian forces made a tactical withdrawal to fight from higher ground in Lysychansk. The focus has now shifted to Lysychansk, where Russia said street battles began on Saturday after its forces had moved in from the south. 15 children have drowned in flash floods that swept through Bangladesh. UNICEF's country representative said another 3.5 million urgently needing clean drinking water are at the risk of waterborne disease. Meanwhile, the government and aid agencies have rushed to provide relief, including water and other supplies, after flash floods across a quarter of the country. The floods have also disrupted health facilities, shut schools, and disrupted malnutrition treatments for hundreds of children. Authorities in Bangladesh and India have warned of a risk of disease. In total, more than 4.5 million people have been stranded and dozens killed in Bangladesh, many in the worst flooding in the Sylhet region in the northeast for more than 100 years. The World Health Organization has concluded that the current international monkeypox outbreak does not constitute a public health emergency of international concern as of now. Experts from around the world discussed the current situation at an emergency committee meeting on Thursday. The Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus made the announcement based on their advice on Saturday. The committee advised, however, the event should be closely monitored as there is a risk of further spread. The experts also said that it should be reviewed after a few weeks to see if its advice needs to be reconsidered as more information becomes available. The WHO currently lists outbreaks of polio and COVID-19 as such emergencies. That was world news, and now in development news, the government has decided to cultivate crops in all the government institutions and school premises. It has been planned to implement under the National Food Production Programs. The Ministry of Education has launched an island-wide school home garden program called Vidubimen Govibimak National Student Cultivation Drive on the instructions of the Education Minister Dr. Susil Premajand. It is hoped to cultivate crops on lands in schools, Piravena's national colleges of education, teacher training colleges and all education officers in the country, and to further expand the home gardens of students, teachers and officials in the ministry.
Sports News is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
Homophobia is responsible for a large portion of abuse aimed at footballers and basketballers in the men's and women's game. According to a new report, more than 1,500 abusive posts included in the report. Homophobic abuse was 40% of posts targeted at male footballers, 27% of that sent to female football players, 46% of the abuse aimed at male basketballers, and 19% of that posted to female basketball players. Messages directed at the athletes also included racism, sexism, and ableism. The joint report into online abuse and its impact on performance and mental well-being was conducted by AI companies Signify, for FIFPro, the NBPA and the WNBPA, which are the global unions representing male and female athletes in football and basketball. The posts were taken from social media platform Twitter for 5 months between May and September 2021 and directed at 160 of the most high-profile male and female footballers and basketball players across the biggest leagues in Europe, the United States and South America. The report says its research shows the horrific, targeted and sometimes criminal abuse that affects players across sports and gender in both their workplace and family environment.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Lassana Flora has recently introduced floral deliveries on bicycles. The bicycle delivery team will execute orders within 5 kilometers of the 2 flagship stores and soon at all outlets. The chairman of the Lassana Group of Companies, Dr. Lasantha Maladige, said Lassana Flora's bicycle delivery team will undertake most routine deliveries and express deliveries and ensure the timely delivery of Lassana's entire range of floral products, gifts and treats.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic News, courtesy of
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
A commission that studied operations at the Sri Lanka Customs has proposed significant digitalization and targeted CCTV installation to minimize corruption, electronic monitoring of bulk cargo, introduction of GPS for trucks and online verification facilities are among the 117 recommendations. The 530-page report handed over to the President on Tuesday by its chairman, Supreme Court Justice Shiran Gunaratne, has also proposed the appointment of a steering committee to monitor the implementation of the recommendations.
LOLC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 golds at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LOLC Finance claims the overall gold award whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking. LOLC Finance will continue to innovate with the next generation digitalization of financial services, delivering a superior customer experience.
And now for the weather report. Showers or thunder showers will occur at times in the Sabaragamu province and in the Kandy, Nuwara Eliya, Gala and Matara districts. Several spells of showers will occur in the western and northwestern provinces. Fairly strong winds above 50 kilometers per hour can be expected at times in the western slopes of the central hills, the northern, north central and northwestern provinces and in the Trincomalee and Hambantota districts. The sea areas off the coast extending from Puthalama to Trincomalee via Kankasanturai and Matara to Pottuville via Hambantota will be rough. The sea areas off the coast extending from Puthalama to Gala via Colombo will be fairly rough at times. The other sea areas around the island will be moderate. That was our weather report, and now the headlines of this news broadcast once again. The government is to introduce a token system for customers waiting in fuel station queues. The Parliament's Select Committee on Electoral Reforms proposed a mixed system for parliamentary elections. The Private Bus Owners Association requests the annual bus fare revision by tomorrow. The price of a lunch packet and all other food items to be increased by 10 rupees. The Expressway Revenue has halved when compared to the traffic on the expressway before the fuel crisis. The World Health Organization says monkeypox outbreak not an international public health emergency. That concludes this news broadcast. You're with Radio Sri Lanka.